Good morning. My name is Debra Mines, and I'd like to welcome you to Read Across America Day, a day where we celebrate reading. We're grateful for the partnership of the Georgia Public Libraries. As a literacy champion myself, I love reading and writing stories. In fact, I love it so much that I decided to write my own book, Stinky Shoes. My life as a reader has not always been easy. Actually, I struggled in reading in first and second grade, but I had some wonderful teachers and librarians who helped me to unlock words, comprehend phrases and sentences, and construct meaning. For example, I learned that some words can make sounds like pew-wee. That means it's stinky. I also learned that some words can take on qualities like a person. For instance, if you have a fiction book, it might say, the shoes were tired of sitting on the boring shelf. Can shoes get tired? No, a person can. Can shoes be bored? No, but a person can get bored. Also, I learned that some words are spelled the same way backwards and forwards, such as dad. D-A-D, or D-A-D. Those words are called palindromes. Can you say that word? Palindromes. Say it with me, palindromes. Say it by yourselves. Good job. We could go on because there are so many different words that we learned. However, we're going to find a lot of those examples in Stinky Shoes. Stinky Shoes by Debra Mines, the illustrator Henry M. Blackman. Let's enjoy our book. Pew-wee! Do you have a pair of stinky shoes? That's me. But I wasn't always stinky. There was a time not long ago when I lived on a clean shelf in a clean shoe store. I smelled good and I looked good too. But I wasn't happy there. I was tired of sitting on that boring shelf. Instead, I wished that I could jump into a race car and speed out of the shoe store. Brum, I thought, brum, brum, brum. Then one day, a tall, thin man walked into the store. He had very big feet. Clump, clump, clump. Swish, squash, clump, screeched his shoes. He walked right over to me and took me off the shelf. Yippee, I screamed. Maybe this will be my lucky day to see the world. Then the tall man sat down and removed his smelly old shoes from his big, stinky feet. Pew-wee! I exclaimed. What was that horrible smell? But he ignored me and pushed me onto his big, stinky feet. His feet smelled like toilets with rotten eggs falling out of them. I smelled like rotten eggs too. Then the tall man with big stinky feet walked around the store for a minute. Clump, clump, clump. Swish, squash, clump. He paid the cashier and left the store with his stinky feet leaving a strong odor behind him. Pew-wee! Can you say that with me? Pew-wee! The tall, thin man with big, stinky feet walked all around town, all day long until nightfall. He fell into a swamp that sneezed green, slimy frogs all over me. Pew-wee! As the night grew darker, he stumbled along because he was so tired and sleepy. Finally, he saw a long bench in a park, sat down to rest, and fell fast asleep. Yippee! This was my big chance to wiggle away from these stinky feet and never smell stinky again. So I pushed and I pulled. I kicked and I screamed. At first, nothing worked. I screamed, "Help me!" Then suddenly, I saw lightning flash across the sky, and I heard thunder clashing like cymbals and then humming like a drum roll through the night. It started raining. At first, it was a sprinkle. Gradually, it became a cascade of water drenching me. I kicked and kicked, but I was stuck to his feet like glue hanging on for dear life. The flood of water grew larger and larger until the sky poured buckets of rain over me. It was slippery and extremely wet, so I kicked harder and harder and harder and harder until I flew into the stormy sky. I could breathe now. I flew higher and higher into the very wet sky and grew cleaner and cleaner as the rain washed the stink away. This was heavenly. Of course, whatever goes up must come down. So I fell down, 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 and hoped for a smooth landing. I was clean and not smelly anymore. But oh no! Where was I falling? This couldn't be happening to me. I fell into something even stinkier than the tall man's big stinky feet. I fell into a garbage can. Pew-wee! Can you say that with me? Pew-wee! Say it by yourselves. It was smelly. It made me stinky all over again. Oh no, I was suffocating and gasping for fresh air again. So I started kicking and kicking harder and harder and harder and harder until finally I flew into the sky again. The rain washed me clean again. As you know, whatever goes up must come down. So I began falling down, 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 lower and lower and lower until I floated gently on a bed of fresh green grass. I could breathe again. That was exhausting. That was tiring. Now I am clean, clean, clean again and not stinky, stinky, stinky again. I can rest now. Can you help me find my way back to the shoe store? And that's the end. Thank you for being such great listeners today. Remember to always celebrate reading in everything that you do because you are literacy champions.